Coming up in this week's episode. I'm sorry I didn't ask you that at the beginning, because I think it would have really been able to maybe access some more of the emotion with each other. Welcome to The Liberation Effect with me, your host, Helen Villas. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Liberation Effect. Today I'm joined by Sinead, who's come to talk to me about the guilt of going no contact with her grandparents and how that's impacting kind of with the rest of the family and their behaviour around it. And actually, Sinead, I'm just going to hand straight over to you and ask you, what is it you're looking for to get from our time together today?
I think ultimately I just need somebody to give me a pat on the back and
Okay.
reassure me that I've made the right decision.
Okay.
Because there is a lot of guilt around going no contact, and it hasn't played out how I expected it to.
Okay.
I think that most family members are quite reactive, and there's just been nothing. There's been complete radio silence, and that's been quite unsettling.
Oh, so a change in their behaviour. So a pat on the back that you've made the right decision.
Yeah.
What's making you question the decision?
I don't think I ever trust myself. I don't ever trust my own judgment. I tend to have a habit of over explaining everything, and I always seek approval for any decision that I make. Even if I feel sure about something, I will ask other people, have I interpreted that correctly? Am I right to have these thoughts and feelings?
Interesting. Whose approval do you seek? Who's got the decision whether or not you're right or wrong?
Nobody in particular, just not me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Which also is quite dangerous.
Yes. I have very recently come to the realization that I have sought out romantic relationships that mimic my childhood relationships with my caregivers, and yeah, things are quite turbulent at the moment.
Within a romantic relationship?
Within my marriage. I've ended up in a marriage where the dynamic is very similar to the dynamic that I had with my grandparents growing up.
Okay.
And that's something that I uncovered fairly recently because I have been in therapy, which started out because I was having panic attacks at work. And then over 18 months, I've gotten to the real source of where the anxiety was coming from.
Gosh, this sounds like it's been quite the revelation.
Yeah.
And just for clarity, it's not a lot for me. You know that, don't you? That it's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Who is it a lot for?
It's a lot for me.
It is a lot for you.
It's a lot for me.
Huge amount. Huge amount to come to that realization. You know, it's so interesting that you were having these panic attacks, and then as you've gone through therapy and unraveled, it's actually revealed this pattern, this dynamic.
Yeah, because the self-doubt and the voice in my head was not my own voice. It was it was the critique coming from, it was my grand's voice, it was my nana's voice that was coming in and telling me that I was wrong, and you think that you are somebody just because you've got a university degree, and and like major imposter syndrome of I was actually joking last night with friends that I'm still waiting for somebody to contact me and say, "Oh, your acceptance letter was sent in error," and I'm graduated now, but I'm still like, still
Still
don't
waiting.
feel. Mhm.
Still fraudulent feeling.
Mhm. Yeah, very much so.
Just give me a bit of an idea of what fraudulent feelings or what you feel fraudulent about.
I I just don't feel good enough. I
For what?
feel like I've managed to fake my way through. Like, I feel like I've got the gift of the gab. I've managed to like coerce other people into letting me get through uni and get a job, and
Do you
and
know?
I'm in a position of authority, and I'm like, oh, who decided that this was okay for me to have this level of responsibility?
Wow. Wow. Isn't it interesting? Every time someone says that to me, my response is always immediately, it's two things. But I'm going to go with the first one that's just popped into my head, which was it's really ironic that you don't
Hmm.
think you're good enough, but you're good enough to have convinced everyone else and
Yeah,
manipulated
yeah.
everybody else into believing that you can do a job that you can't do. And you've tricked them and, against
Hmm.
their will, forced them into either employing you, giving you whatever it might be.
Yeah,
And yet you're
yeah.
not good enough.
That that's quite big-headed, isn't it, to believe that I'm capable of doing that, but not capable of actually having the smarts to get through. But I'm,
I mean, big headed is really negative. It's
Mhm.
sad.
Yeah.
It's sad, is what it is. It's sad, but it also shows the level of power you've been told you've got. That
Hmm.
it's your ability to control how other people behave. That
Yeah.
you have that ability.
Yeah.
That's where that comes from.
Hmm.
You know that they treat you badly, it's your fault. So if you just behave well or you just do the right thing, you'll get the thing that you need from them, which is
Hmm.
them being nice to you, right? So
Yeah.
if you're just good enough, if you
Hmm.
just, jump through that hoop or this hoop and do this thing and limbo under that bar, you will be good enough eventually. And it's really, everyone I say that to always says, oh, that's really big headed or arrogant of me. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, again,
Hmm.
you could look at it that way, or you could look at it in the idea that it's really sad, but
Hmm.
it's also showing you how you don't have that power,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
That's something that I only very recently came to realize. There were huge shifts in my childhood. Like, I literally moved continents
Wow.
as a 6 year old. And up until about 5 years ago, I genuinely believed that that was my decision. I thought that
Wow.
yeah. And until like another adult said to me, of course, that wasn't your decision. I was like, oh, wait, no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I was led to believe that that was my choice.
Can you explain what led you to believe that?
So I was in the States, and I was born there and spent the first 6 years of my life there.
Hmm.
Um, and my mum was a single parent from the very beginning.
Right.
She wasn't in a relationship when she had me.
Okay.
And I was very disposable. So
That's
she had me
disposable.
when she wanted me. And when she couldn't be bothered, she would leave me with my grandparents.
Right.
And it would be, I'd like to go out with friends, or I'm going to get my hair cut. I'll be back in a couple of hours, and then it would be days or possibly weeks later that she'd come back to get me. So I was
Wow.
essentially with my grandparents from birth, and my mum came in and out when she pleased. And they decided to come back home when I was 6, and they
Mm.
asked me, would you like to come over for a holiday with us? And I said yes. And then loved it so much because they spoiled me at that time.
Mm.
And I said, I'd like to stay. And they said, of course you can. But this was already pre decided. I didn't know that. But they let me believe that this was
Oh.
all my choice. Yeah.
Oh.
And then I just didn't have any relationship with my mum for a number of years.
Now, there's a
Yeah.
part of me that can see how thinking that it's the child deciding to stay with the grandparents rather than go back is kind of I don't know how to position it. You know, I can imagine that the thinking being like, if she thinks it's her own choice, then she won't resist it, react, feel, grief or whatever about it.
Yeah.
I can see that. But I also can see a 6-year-old being really confused and then having a lot of guilt because they've chosen that person over that person.
Yeah.
And a lot of shame even maybe. And then I can see toxic people exploiting that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not kind of gently bringing it into your awareness as you get older that, yeah, we had to do that because it was the safest option.
Yeah.
And we kind of did it in that way to make it easier for you. And if we got that wrong, we're really sorry, kind of thing. You know, like I can... Oh, okay. Tell me a little bit then about the background around you kind of having to go no contact with your grandparents, because you said it up until then they were spoiling you, or at that point they were spoiling you.
Yeah, at that point. Yeah, I think that things shifted when I was in their full-time care.
Right.
And then kind of when I kind of got to like prepubescent age, that's when things really changed because suddenly I wasn't a child and I was supposed to have all of these adult responsibilities. But I was very, yeah, I I was a performing monkey. I had to behave in certain ways to get any kind of care. Yeah, and I did truly believe that I was the one making the decisions, and that meant that I wasn't able, like I could never show any sort of grief for not having a relationship with my mum anymore because like, well, why would you miss her? She just treated you as if you were disposable anyway. So I wasn't allowed to like miss her or share that.
Oh,
So it was, yeah, it was quite, and that was something that was always used as an insult, was that if I behaved in a way that wasn't acceptable, I was told you're just like your mother. And that was quite hard when other people outside the family would tell me how similar I was to my mum because they meant it as a genuine compliment, but it
right.
just was like a punch in the gut because I was like, oh, that's not a good thing to say. That's not good. I don't
Oh,
want to be I don't want to be
no.
compared to her.
So they created this narrative that your mother was this terrible human and being like
Yeah,
her was a really, really bad
yeah.
thing.
Hmm.
And I'm just going to say this for the benefit of everyone listening, that when you have a child who has one parent or, both parents not in the picture, it's very important that you don't badmouth the other parent,
Yeah.
regardless of your relationship with them. You can validate
Hmm.
their feelings, you can talk about their experience of their parent and validate it. And you can even say things, yeah, I'd find that really difficult if that was happening to me,
Hmm.
kind of thing. But to go and say things like, well, they're just awful, they're this, they're that, they're irresponsible,
Hmm.
lazy, they're a child, they're an adolescent, anything, when we're saying really
Yeah.
negative things, because that child is 50% that parent.
Hmm.
And they internalize that about themselves, as you are here
Yeah.
explaining now. So anytime you didn't comply, it was straight away, mum is, well, you're like your mum, and that means
Hmm.
therefore you're terrible.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel about your mum then?
I I didn't trust her at all. I was convinced that she was a compulsive liar and that I couldn't believe anything that she told me, that I had to question everything that she told me because she wasn't reliable in any
Right.
way. So when I did have contact with her, and I did actually go back and live with her for 1 year
Right.
at a point, which was awful. And she was in an abusive relationship at the time, and she kept me off school because her partner wouldn't physically assault her in my presence.
Oh my God. Okay. So,
And but when she told me, I was like, well, where's your proof? As a child, I was
of
like, well,
course.
I don't believe you. Where's your proof? Prove it to me. Which is disgusting now
No,
to
wait.
think
Sorry.
that
Hang on.
I
No.
asked.
No. I'm sorry. I'm going to pause you right there.
Okay.
At what age were you? What age?
10.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what had you been told your entire life?
That she was a liar, that she couldn't be
Right.
trusted, that she was manipulative, that
Right.
I was there to serve her,
So
and
what were
that
you?
she would drop me when I was no longer of any use to her. And I genuinely believed that.
Okay. And so why would 10-year-old you think anything other than that to ask for the proof?
Yeah.
It's not disgusting.
Hmm.
It's actually really savvy of a 10-year-old to go, something about this isn't right. I know that you've got this history.
Hmm.
I want evidence of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Does that reframe it a little bit?
A bit, but I still, now I don't believe you.
You don't
I
believe
still
me?
feel, I still feel, I have a lot of guilt. It's this mindset of the impact that I had, or that
Mm.
I could have had, and maybe if I had played things different, then she could have a nicer life.
How does the guilt help you? How does it help you to hold on to it?
I mean, I know that there's a reason why I hold the guilt, and I'm not entirely sure
Let's
how it serves me. Maybe
think.
just the magnitude of me being completely dependent on other people and none of the decisions were mine.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is
the adults who were supposed to care for me made these decisions, and they made terrible decisions.
so how does
And if
holding
they
on the
were
guilt?
responsible, then that's what's disgusting.
Okay.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. What's happening right now for you?
Everybody's really shit.
What are you
Yeah, I was
feeling?
very let down, quite a bit nauseous.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
And any emotion with it?
Just overwhelmed. I feel quite overwhelmed.
Feels too big.
Hmm.
Do
It
we need to
is.
pause? Are we okay?
No, I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder, and I've talked about this before, when we let go of that responsibility, often what's behind it is a huge amount of grief.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I wonder if that's what that nausea, overwhelm might be.
Yeah.
Because that then means accepting we had no power, as you said.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if you were to not feel guilty about asking your mother for evidence, what would that mean?
I immediately thought that, oh, I don't know. Like, does that make me careless? Does it make me
Ah, if
devoid
you,
of any emotion if I don't have guilt? I don't know.
okay. And
Hmm.
well, if you were to be devoid of emotion and careless, who would that make you like?
Just like my mother.
Okay. So if I don't feel guilty, it means I'm going to be like them.
Hmm.
Where's the relationship with your mother now? What's the situation?
Very superficial.
Okay.
Very superficial. She's still in the States.
Okay.
So we communicate on social media and video chat every couple of months. and it's very superficial.
Okay.
Mhm.
How does it feel, that relationship?
Very fake. It's not
Mm.
it's not nice. It feels, I don't even know. I have genuinely thought, do I just cut contact with her as
Mm-hmm.
well? Because I find it quite, I get really angry quite a lot because she'll speak about the past quite positively. And I'll
Ah.
be like, I was there. I was 10. I
Mm.
have real memories from that time. And you're painting a very unrealistic picture of how it was.
Right.
And then I just switch off and let her ramble on, and I don't even want to challenge what she's saying because it's, I suppose it's nicer to have something that's superficial than to fight.
Interesting. That's a very interesting phrase. It's nicer to have something it's superficial than to fight. What would happen if you were to fight?
I have been no contact with her before. I didn't communicate with her for about 4 years.
Okay.
And it was because I wanted some clarity over some incidents that happened during childhood, and she claimed to have no memory of what I was talking about.
Ah.
But she could go into quite specific details about other things that were going
Mm-hmm.
on at the same time, and I was like, you are a
Mm-hmm.
liar.
Mm-hmm.
You are a liar, and I don't believe you, so I'm just not going to communicate with you.
How, when it comes to your kind of relationship with her or your knowledge of her, when you look at the kind of the narratives that you were told about her by your grandparents and the real lived experience with her, how
hmm
often do those narratives actually line up?
I don't I don't think that my grandparents lied to me.
Okay.
I think that they were quite honest with me about
Right.
my mum, but not in an age appropriate way at all.
Okay. Definitely not.
No,
Guarantee not.
even as an adult, like they shouldn't have said the things that they said to me,
Right. Okay.
but they weren't. They were pretty accurate with what they said.
But it sounds like they might have been punishing you for her behaviour.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to check something in with you right now.
Okay.
In terms of this situation, me and you talking, how are you actually feeling about it?
Quite good,
Okay.
actually.
Good.
I like talking about it with somebody neutral.
Okay.
I have tried to have discussions like this with other family members or my husband,
Mm-hmm.
but these are people that know my family,
Mm.
so have, like, they've been able to influence their thoughts and feelings on things as
Mm.
well. So I think that there's an element of doubt
Okay.
to my experience when I try to share things. So
Sure.
yeah, it's actually quite nice to talk about it and not feel like I need to censor myself or
Okay. Are you, so
sugarcoat
you're not
anything.
censoring and you're not feeling guarded or
No,
no? Good. Just
no.
checking. Just checking.
hmm
Like, just want to make sure because it feels like, right, we've got three kind of main players going on right now. And
hmm
one is the reason that you came, the no
Yep.
contact. Two is your mother. And then three is your husband.
hmm
And so what I'm going to kind of, and I think they're all intermingling. And the overarching theme seems to be guilt and responsibility and fear, obligation, guilt, perhaps. And I wonder if we come back to your original question about the guilt of kind of people reacting to you going no contact. And I'm wondering where you are getting that guilt from, who's giving it to you.
hmm I don't know. I
Mhm.
don't know.
So the
I don't know
grandparents,
where.
how long have you been no contact with them?
So my papa's no longer with us. He passed away
Okay.
a few years ago. He was my safe person.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for that.
He Although now I actually have quite a bit of resentment, because although
Sure.
he was the person that I went to for physical contact, and like he
Mm.
was quite physically affectionate with me, and I could speak to him and I could cry around him and not be made to feel bad, but he
Right.
also did nothing to protect me, and was very
Okay.
much like, oh, just let her shout at you, it's fine, you know, it'll just let her do it, and then if you don't fight back she'll be done with it sooner. And so he was, yeah, very enabling of her
Mm.
behavior.
Tolerate the abuse and it'll be
Yeah,
over quicker.
yeah.
But I'm not going to step in and protect you at all. That's
No.
very difficult. So have you just come to that
Hmm.
after he's passed
Yeah,
away?
yeah,
So then you've got grief and that mingled in.
yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
bless you.
I
Okay.
can't even remember the original point that I was getting to there. Um,
I was talking about who the guilt is coming from in terms of your going no contact with your grandparents.
hmm.
And you said you didn't know who was
Yeah,
giving it to you. And now I've forgotten what my next question was after that. But it was about explaining
yeah.
who is guilt tripping you, essentially.
Hmm. So my uncle still lives with my nana.
Okay,
So
and was he there
he's
the
in
whole
his,
time?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So he's always been at home, and he, I suppose, could be classed as the golden child. Although
right.
how he is the golden child, I don't understand, because he's a piece of shit. He's
Mm.
very entitled. So he just
Hmm.
chooses to be home, and his elderly mother still does all of his cooking and cleaning and ironing, and like she'll tidy his bedroom for him and make his bed for him. It's very, yeah. So it was
Interesting.
quite a complex dynamic growing up. So I think, but they're quite in cahoots with each other.
Right. There's something very telling about that in itself, just that the golden child tends to be, if anyone's going to develop narcissistic personality disorder, it'll be a golden child.
Hmm.
And the entitlement, I mean, it's obvious why it's there, right? He's still living at home. Mum's doing all his like cleaning and cooking and laundry for him.
Hmm.
Um, he believes he's extra special. So he was
Yeah.
there as you were growing up.
Hmm. Yeah.
What was that like for you?
Really mixed, because he's very unpredictable and quite volatile. But when he was nice, I thought that we were like best friends. And he he's only 12 years older than me.
That was my next question. So
Hmm.
he's 12 years
So
older.
he was almost like a sibling. He was like a cool big brother, and when
Mm-hmm.
he was old enough to like go to the pub and drink alcohol and stuff, he would have friends over and he'd be like, "Oh, come and hang out with us." And like that was made me feel quite special to be
Mm.
included with the grown-ups.
Well, what age would you have been then? 6.
Well, if he was like 20, then I would have been like 8.
Mm. There's something weirdly threatening about that, and I might be reading too much into it, but is that right? Was it threatening in any way?
I No, I don't.
No?
I mean,
Okay. That's
it
listen.
wasn't
Mm.
right at all. And
Yeah, I
now I
think maybe
think like I
that's
wouldn't treat my children like that. I can't imagine,
no,
my
I've got
grandparents having to work nights, and he's left to be the babysitter, and he's like, don't tell your nana and papa, but we'll go to the pub tonight. And I was like, oh, I feel quite grown up. And like his friends would buy me cans of Coke and crisps, and like,
okay. Okay, so he was a carer as well then.
yeah.
So hang on. So both your grandparents. Well,
So messed up.
No, it's not. Well, it's just. I wonder if I'm just not getting the full story all at once, and maybe
Okay.
that's what I need.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
that I think because what I'm wondering is grandparents. What, both of them were on nights?
Sometimes. Yeah. My nana worked in a care home, and my papa worked in a bar. So
Right.
sometimes they were working like unsociable hours.
I tell you what. Why don't you give me
Hmm.
an outline of the story and how we've got to meeting today? Would that be okay?
Okay. Hmm.
Okay. So let's go from when you've come over from the States believing that you want to stay because you're loving it,
Yeah.
and your uncle's living in the house. He's 12
Yeah.
years older than you,
Yeah.
and they're being really evil and mean to you and telling you when you're naughty that it's, well, not naughty, but when you're not what they're expecting you to
Hmm.
be, that that you're rather just like your mother, which
Hmm.
they're positioning as a terrible, terrible thing to be.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go from kind of there, sort of when you've moved over, and then
Hmm.
what the dynamics look like, what the behaviour is from them, and then what led you to going no contact. Is that okay?
Hmm. So I think that they were very much like all of the negative things that they said about my mum. They
Right.
they kind of dropped me when I didn't serve them. They're, like you said, they took me on, which I was very aware of because I
Oh
was
yes, of
told
course
that
it
I
was
was
held
not
over
a
you all the time.
choice.
Yeah,
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 I was
okay.
not a choice. They got landed with me,
Wait,
as my
what?
nana put it. Yeah, yeah.
That you weren't a choice?
No, yeah,
You you see how ludicrous that is?
yeah, because they literally did choose to have me.
Right. I mean, more actively than many
Hmm.
parents that give
Yeah,
birth.
yeah.
They literally chose you.
Hmm. So,
Okay.
oh yeah, okay, yeah. So my my nana convinced my mum to give me up for adoption
Right.
because they're a good Catholic family, so didn't believe in abortion.
Right.
But my mum agreed to give me up for adoption and then changed her mind
Right. When
and
you were
kept
born.
me. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So
How old was your mother when she had you?
18.
Okay. Carry on.
So yeah, so I was made very aware of not being wanted,
Okay.
and I should have this enormous gratitude for everything that I was provided with because we didn't even ask for you to be here.
I mean, okay. I'm getting really angry with them, and
I'm
I'm
really
trying to
angry too. And
temper
I'm like,
it
of
as
course
well.
I went no contact. Why did I
Like,
wait all this time?
oh my goodness. Don't blame. There you go, blaming yourself. And we do that. We'll blame ourselves. Well, why didn't I do
Yeah.
this sooner? How couldn't I see? What was it wrong with me? Blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
But you're just colluding then in the abuse when you do
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
first of all. But second of all, of course you didn't. Because A, you didn't know what you know now. And
Hmm.
B, they had brainwashed you into
Yeah.
believing that you were the problem, and you weren't.
Hmm.
They
Some
left
of the
no
things
other
that I
idea.
genuinely believed are genuinely insane now to think about some of the things that I've wholeheartedly believed. And
Okay,
now as an
uh,
adult, I'm like, how was I so brainwashed?
but even there, you're blaming yourself.
Hmm.
And you described it
Yeah.
as insane to believe the things you did. And here you take. I'm going to give you a kind of exercise to notice every time you take responsibility for something that is absolutely not your fault. It wasn't insanity. It was brainwashing, and you believed it because you were brainwashed.
Hmm.
Like the idea that you had any chance of seeing through the behaviour or cracking the code is ludicrous for a child, first, certainly, and even for adults. You know, there are adults on my social media in their 60s, and if not older, saying, I didn't realise what it was. Can't believe I'm 73 and I've just worked this out. Right? People don't know because they don't know, and that's not their fault, and it's not yours either. So please try and really notice where you take responsibility for their behaviour towards you and not realising how toxic it was. Because don't forget that every time you fought back, it was not back with you're a problem. It's you.
Yeah.
Your reaction is the problem, not the behaviour that you're reacting to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, very much.
Okay. So really noticing where you are blaming yourself for accepting the things that they told you. Because then on top of that as well, you had it's sort of almost evidence because of your mother's behaviour. Well, they must be right because look at how she's behaving. But there's something very, very striking about your mother wanting an abortion, and they convinced her to go through with the pregnancy and give the baby up for adoption, i.e. you.
Yeah.
And then how desperately awful that must have been, because if your grandparents treated you that way and your uncle is the golden child, and then that means your mother must have been a scapegoat, potentially.
Yeah.
Her having you must have future promises of like love that she wanted and hadn't had and could replace through having you, and to give that up being so painful. But then on the flip side, not having a clue how to parent you, not having resources, being 18 with a baby, and not, you know, if she's in the States, and I don't know, were the grandparents there nearby or no? Were they living in the States at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were there for like 30 years or something, and then came back home.
So grandparents are there.
Yeah.
And your mum, who probably really didn't want to be a mum, you know, then flipping around this constant cycle of her own guilt and everything else, and not.
Yeah.
And it's not okay what she did, and it's not okay. But can you see that 18-year-old girl kind of thing making that decision? And I'm sure it doesn't, and I'm not for a second saying it's all right how hurt you were as a result. But I come back to your grandparents and see, look at how fucking irresponsible they were to convince an 18-year-old who's saying, I don't want a baby, to go through with a pregnancy, knowing full well that at 18, giving birth, the chances of you wanting to actually give up that baby are going to be tiny, because not only are you having birth hormones, but on top of that, you've just got 18-year-old hormones. And on top of that, she's probably traumatized because of their behavior.
And so when we actually came over, when they left the States and brought me with them, my mum had just given birth to my brother, who is also up for adoption, and she changed her mind. And that's when they decided to up and leave.
But he didn't come with you?
No. And I had enormous guilt over that as well, because so my mum went on to have 6 more children.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were all taken into care.
Okay.
Every one of them grew up in foster care. But she still had contact with them. My siblings genuinely hate me because they think that I had a very privileged life, because she told them, your sister got to stay with family and you were taken away from me.
I'm going to notice something to you. We've been talking now for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And these are quite big chunks that are only coming out now. And my usual experience is someone would give me all of that at the beginning. And even your form to fill out to be on the podcast was so short.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really short. And compared to what there's a reason I say, up to 250 words, because people do, they give me these massive stories and I can't absorb all the information from them. And what I want to question is your own guilt about your own story and sharing that. And there's something like you're not sharing it because you don't give it all at once, because is there a fear that I'm going to say, well, you should be grateful because you didn't grow up in foster care? Is there a fear that you're going to be dismissed, minimized, shamed or something because you should be grateful for having not grown up in foster care, but also you're carrying everyone's guilt. Everyone's guilt.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're scared of rejection, of saying no, have no idea how to trust people, you're not alone, and you don't have to heal alone either. That's what the Hub is for. It's a membership community designed for survivors just like you. Every month, we dive into powerful courses, we hold live calls, and connect in a supportive, understanding space so you can break free from the past and build healthy, fulfilling relationships. Maybe it's time to stop surviving and instead start thriving. Visit jointhehub.ac today using the code POD20 to get £20 off your first month's membership. I can't wait to see you there. Take care. Bye. So does it silence you?
I wasn't. Yeah, it does. It does because I was told that I had to be grateful because look at how your brother's life turned out. Look at your mother. Look at how irresponsible she is. You should be grateful because you've got a roof over your head and there are children starving in Africa. That was always a line that there was always somebody. It didn't matter how bad I had it. Somebody else had it worse. So you're good.
Wow. Okay. So your mother went on to have 6 more children after you. They all go to foster care. You get brought up there with your grandparents, and nobody is taking responsibility for anything, and you are just apparently a bad human being because you are complaining about the way that you're being treated.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to do that because for some reason you're the chosen one. They're painting you as the golden child.
Yeah, but not treating me as one.
No, but does that then mean that you're fearful that you're going to be like your uncle?
I've purposely shaped my life by thinking, what would uncle do? Okay, let's do the opposite of that. To the point that now in my 40s, I wonder how much of my life I would have chosen for myself. And I do wonder, I don't even know what I like or what I enjoy. And I wonder, my career, did I choose that career, or was it because of the prestige that came with the title that they could actually have something that they would have pride in who I had become because of all of the negative things that they had to say about my mum. And although my uncle's the golden child, loads of negative things about him as well.
But they continue to enable his behaviour.
Yeah.
So you don't know. Okay, so that does sound like you are fearing being him.
Yeah. Oh, and I fear my son as well. My youngest son.
What's going on there?
I do. I just don't want him to be anything like him. He's just
what makes
very.
You think he will be?
I don't know. He's just a child, but
Right.
just he's 11, So he's not little,
Mm-hmm.
but he very much wants to be babied.
Right.
And I want him to now, going into high school, have some independence and be able to do things for himself. And he's
Mm-hmm.
very reluctant and still wants me to help him get dressed and brush his teeth. And I'm like, no, you need to be independent, because
Mm-hmm.
not that I've said this to him, but
No, no, it's okay.
inwardly I think, oh, you're just going to, I'm not going to still be doing your dishes for you when you're 50. Like, that's not
Mm.
happening.
Very normal at 11 to be scared of getting
Hmm.
older, right? First of all. So that's very, very normal
Hmm.
to kind of reinforce. And they're in this weird
Yeah,
little
he's almost
limbo
regressed
space.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
That he was
Very
very
normal.
independent, and
Hmm.
now he's like, oh no, I need mummy to do that
Yeah,
for me.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
I need comfort. I need reassurance. I need looking after,
And I
right?
didn't experience that myself, so I find it
Yeah.
difficult to relate, because I was desperate to be an adult and leave home.
It's so relatable.
Desperate.
It's so relatable. My oldest, love him, is shows no signs of wanting to escape, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? You're 17. Go,
Yeah.
like, why aren't you running away
Yeah.
and being out and like
Yeah.
learning? I don't get it. But then he's not had the
But that's
childhood
good.
I had, exactly,
It is. It's good.
right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so oof, there's so many little threads I could pull that. Okay, so the fear is being like them, and the problem
Hmm.
with that is that when we're in that place where we're so scared of being like them, that everything becomes evidence that we are, or they are
Yeah.
becoming like them, and we don't relax. Essentially, we're just kind of looking for it all the time. And the
Hmm.
minute you start thinking, oh well, they're this way, you fall into what's called confirmation bias, where you start
Yeah.
seeing it absolutely
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah.
right? We're all guilty of confirmation bias. I am with like narcissism or toxic traits. What we need is like a checking system to make sure that we're not falling into that trap, that we've kind of got I don't know, a filter that says, hang on, this is your thing, and where's it, how real is this? So I was asking questions about mum earlier and her behaviour, and we were
Hmm.
talking about the
Hmm.
fact that she was 18 and kind of going through with a pregnancy that she didn't want to have, and then changed her mind and kept the baby. And it sounds like there's an awful lot of very dysregulated behaviour from her,
Hmm.
and chaotic behaviour,
Yeah.
which then, of course, makes it very difficult. And those 6 other children, you get no relationship. You're excluded and, exiled as a result from your siblings, because you have to carry all their shame and all their resentment and all their anger. And again, it's almost like everyone is blaming you for your mother's behavior again.
Hmm.
And again, I'm coming back to, who is giving you this guilt? Where's it
Hmm.
coming from?
I really don't even know. I don't even know where
You
the
do,
guilt's coming from, because I've just felt so responsible for everything for my whole life, and I don't know. It's just been conditioned into me.
yeah, it has. And the second question is the same as the one I asked earlier. What will it cost you to let it go? The
Hmm.
guilt.
Um, I don't just the magnitude of the grief in
The
in
grief.
knowing that I had no responsibility. I was a child.
You
Of
were.
course, I didn't have responsibility. None
Yeah.
of it was my choosing.
How would your siblings react if you no longer felt guilty?
I don't even know. I don't have contact with any of them.
So you have no real
So no, this
relationship
is
with
all
them.
their thoughts and opinions on me have been relayed to me from other family members. So it's not come
Oh my
firsthand from them
God.
directly.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, which family member has told you that, if you
My
don't mind?
mum, my nana. Hmm.
Oh, I'm about to lose my temper and I'm trying to rein it in. What purpose did that serve for them?
So I think I was used as a bit of a trophy
No, no,
for my
no.
grandmother to be seen as a good person
Pause
because
it.
look
Pause
at
that.
me taking on my granddaughter. I didn't need to do this, and aren't I doing a good job? Because look how well presented she is, and how polite and courteous, and she never talks back. And
Okay, I'm going to pause
hmm.
you.
Okay.
How did it benefit them? I'll come back to what you just said, by the way.
Hmm.
But how did it benefit them to have you believing that all your siblings resented you?
I suppose it just amplified my gratitude.
I mean, that's not a just statement, though, is it?
Hmm.
What point at which would they pull this out?
Usually, when I asked questions,
Such as,
there's
what kind of question?
so about the relationship that my mum had with my dad and why I never had any contact with him, why they made the decision to leave the States, why
Right.
they chose to have me and not leave me with my mum, why my mum willingly allowed me to come. I just want I just want I just want to know who I am and where I came from. And I've never been allowed answers and have been told that I'm ungrateful for seeking answers.
Okay. So, when you would ask questions about your origin, your
Hmm.
heritage, their choices,
Hmm.
you were met with, you're ungrateful, your siblings all wish they were in your position.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, have you ever had any contact with your siblings?
When I went back for a year when I was 10,
Right.
some of them had been born by then. So
Okay.
I did have, they were very young though. So only the oldest after me is the only one who actually remembers me being there because the others were like
Yeah.
two,
Too.
one, and newborn,
But
so
they
they
were
don't
there in the
actually.
house. They
But
were
they
in
were
the
there.
home
Yeah, yeah. There
with
were.
the brother, the next one after you.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
how old? How much younger than you is he?
6 years old, 6 years younger.
Oh yeah, you said sorry.
Yeah,
20. So she was
yeah,
24. So he was 6, and then you
yeah,
had two, one, and newborn,
yeah,
all living at home with her.
yeah.
At what point did they get put into care?
Not long after I moved back. Not long after I left, like within 12 months of me leaving.
And she was still in the relationship with the abusive
Hmm.
partner.
Yeah,
Wait, there was a 6-year-old at home and a ten
yeah,
year old,
yeah,
but he wouldn't beat her in front of you.
yeah. But would with in front of the 6 year old. Hmm.
But that doesn't make. Why not you? Why? That doesn't make
I
sense.
was an outsider. I don't know.
Well, I'm just questioning the veracity of it. I
I
just.
don't I don't even know. I okay, so I challenged her and I asked her for proof, but I still don't know if she was completely honest because
That's what I'm questioning.
I was a second parent. in the house. I did a lot
Okay.
of the caregiving.
Oh, and we know that she likes handing that over.
Yeah, I did a lot of like making bottles and doing laundry and
Right.
cooking
At 10.
at 10. Yeah.
Imagine your
I
11-year-old
could
doing
cook for a
that.
family of 5 at 10 years old. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's just. And then I get frustrated because my son claims he doesn't know how to butter his toast.
Right. Right. And actually, maybe at 11, it might
It's
be a
not
bit.
unreasonable.
It's
Yeah.
not too unreasonable.
No.
I mean, you'd want them to be trying most, they might make a hash of it, but maybe at 11, you'd not expect them to be able to cook for a family of 5.
Hmm.
Wait, who's in that family of 5?
So me, my mum, 4 younger siblings, that's 6.
Yeah, you missed one
And
out,
then
yeah.
her abusive partner really wasn't around much. He was either at work or out with friends and was very, like, I don't actually remember him being present very much.
But there were 6 of you, not
Hmm.
5.
6, yeah.
Who were you leaving out of the equation, Sinead?
I think I just miscounted.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Now I'm questioning myself. I don't know.
Mm, I wonder
Maybe I was
how.
thinking about the 5 other people and not
Mm,
including myself.
mm. That's where my brain went.
Hmm.
Kind of this external, I'm cooking for the family.
Yeah,
I'm not part of that family.
yeah, yeah,
So apart from that year at 10,
yeah, yeah.
did you have any other relationship with your siblings, or have you ever had any other relationships
No.
or contacts at all? Nothing?
So, yeah, one of my sisters I do have contact with.
What happened there?
And that's quite recent.
You looked a bit. I don't know what the word is. What is there? Something went across your face.
I don't know. I don't really want the relationship.
Okay.
She reached out to
Okay.
me and I felt obligated.
Okay.
Mhm. And I also had this real desire to explain myself.
Hmm.
And when we first got in touch, we agreed to FaceTime and it was just verbal diarrhea. I just laid everything out for her and was like, I did not have a privileged lifestyle and you have been fed a lie and I want you to know. But
Hmm.
she's an adult now and has children of her own and she was like, "Oh no, I absolutely don't believe what I did when I was a child because she's come to her own realizations
Hmm.
of the toxicity of the family dynamic."
Right.
But like me, she very much believed what she was told at the time. And she told me that she did hate me when she was a child because of how glamorous my lifestyle was sold to her. But now as an adult, she realizes just how,
The
yeah,
level of triangulation is
oh, it's so
utterly
complex.
vile. Like, it's vile. The pissing against each other. You have to be quiet because you've got this glam lifestyle because you're being raised in a home rather than a foster as a
Hmm.
well, what, foster home or house, or and they have to be angry with you and not your mother because it's your fault that they're in a foster house. Like, okay, so these are people who really don't know you.
No.
Your uncle, from what you've said, is a bit of a prick.
Hmm. That's
Maybe.
polite.
Okay. Okay. Um, your mother is a series of bad choices that she's externalizing onto everyone else. And, I know people are going to be like, oh my God, she was traumatized, she was forced over. And I get it, but she was still adult enough. I mean, 6 years to get, and then get pregnant again, and then to do the exact same thing again.
Yeah.
Oof, it's not okay. There is an active decision at that point, right? That's an active
Yeah.
choice. So what do you struggle with the most now, knowing that here are all these people who've been fed all these lies, and you've been fed lies too? You've all had pictures painted to kind of colour your lens and control your behaviour. And then you've decided to protect yourself and go no contact. But people are giving you guilt. But are they giving you guilt, or is that your...
No, I think it's, well, my mum has
Right. Had 6
said,
children that she's kind of abandoned over and over and over and over and
yeah,
over again, has the audacity to comment on how you have a relationship with somebody who she must know has the capacity to behave in this way because she was raised by her too.
yeah.
So I'm now coming back to that question I've asked from the beginning. Where's the guilt coming from? Who is putting it on you?
Me? But I don't know why. I
So
don't know
you
why.
you
And
said your
it's,
mum was saying some stuff as well, though.
yeah, she'll ask me like, have you still not spoken with her? Oh, she's an old lady now. She needs somebody to help her.
All right, mum, get over here.
Yeah, you come over. Or her son who lives at home maybe.
Right.
But I can't ask to have basic needs met.
I just want to say I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's really shit.
It's really
It
unfair. It's
is.
really awful. You shouldn't have been treated this way. And it isn't your fault. There's nothing to do with you. It's all to do with toxic people around you who
Yeah.
were serving their own needs above those of the children that they forced into this world.
Yeah.
Right? Your siblings, if they have guilt cast on you, that is not yours to carry. No, none of the guilt that's being cast on you is yours to carry. We reap what we sow. And I come back again to that question of what it would cost you to let go of that guilt. What would happen if you were to no longer feel guilty about how, well, just protecting yourself, or how people have treated you, or what would it cost you to let go of that?
I think it would just be, I don't mean just, but I think it would be the grief of it all.
So what is so scary about the grief? What are you fearful of?
This sounds so silly, but the thing that's really gotten to me since going no contact is that there's been absolutely no attempt to contact me. There have been no, I expected anger and outrage and
From your
abusive
grandmother,
phone
this is.
calls or my uncle.
Okay.
Um, and there's just been nothing. It's been complete silence. And I almost feel like, well, what do I do with myself now? Because I've always had somebody telling me what to think and how to feel and who to be, and now it's on me, and that's quite scary. I don't feel like, I still feel like that 6-year old child. I'm not a grown up. I don't.
Okay. So if you grieve it, it means there's no hope of reconciliation, which in turn means you have to make decisions for yourself.
I don't know. Nobody's telling me anymore, so I just don't know. I'm lost. I feel very
Okay.
lost.
You feel untethered.
And it's made me question, like I said earlier about my husband, it's made me question every relationship.
And
And
guilt
now I
keeps you
don't know
tethered.
where my marriage is because
Right.
he very much treats me in a way that my nana did. And I didn't appreciate that until she was no longer in my ear all the time.
Right. Did she like him?
No, but she was grateful that he took me on because I was a single mum when we met.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Uh,
Oh, okay.
and I used him for a period of time as protection, really, because she was much nicer to me in the early days of our relationship
Right.
before they really got to know each other. So anytime I visited, I would take him with me because she would be nice to me.
Yeah.
That changed after, being together for 15 years. That changed. But there was a period of time when we would go over to visit, and if they were left alone because, I don't know, I was in the kitchen making tea or just left them for any period of time, she would try to get him to bitch and complain about me. And
Right.
like, and he was like, no, that's my wife and I'm not doing that.
Okay.
And I think when she realized that he wasn't going to get on board, then she stopped being as nice
Okay.
around him. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. I imagine she was trying to manipulate him into being a weapon, a flying monkey, essentially, for him.
Yeah.
For her, rather. It seems like that without the guilt, you feel untethered. And if you don't have guilt, you also don't have a connection to them anymore. So
No.
letting go of the guilt means that you're no longer, even if it's just through that emotion, in a relationship with them. And that can be a weirdly comforting thing to have because it connects you still and potentially means you're a good person
Yeah.
because you're thinking about them and their feelings and how you impact them all the time. But this thing about not making decisions all comes back to your identity and trust of yourself. And you said that right at the beginning about you feel like you can't trust you've made the right decision to go no contact. And immediately I thought was like, well, how well do you know yourself? How well do you know who you are? If I ask you, who are you? What do you say? And I wonder what your answer would
I,
be.
I'd probably describe, what I do for work. And
Okay.
ra- that's kind of my identity.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know who I am.
What would you expect somebody or me, like if you were to ask me the same question, what do you think I might say?
I think that, I think if I were to ask somebody else, they would maybe talk about like their values.
Mm-hmm. Beliefs,
Because
values,
yeah.
things, you know. So yes, my beliefs and values are woven into my job, but not entire. My identity is not my job,
Yeah.
right? In fact, to the point where I might often hide what I do because it often leads to people like telling me their life stories, like
Yes.
things where I
Yeah.
might not want to hear that life story, like parties or whatever. Not that I'm like out partying loads or anything, but you know. But empathy, kindness, justice, compassion, understanding, equality, equity are all really important to me, as is honesty, clarity, things that direct communication, conflict resolution, not trying to dominate one another, which is like the power not being massively important, spontaneity in the right circumstances with enough planning, which I obviously understand is not entirely spontaneous, but that's the older neurodivergence part of me. And then things like adventure, curiosity, inquisitiveness. I don't align with people who are not curious. It's a
Yeah.
really, really important value, and accuracy. So
Hmm.
I won't share information unless I've fact checked it and
Yeah.
really know that what I'm saying is there is evidence in it.
Hmm.
Would you be able to identify any of those as things that you would want or be?
Yeah.
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 Can you see them
Hmm.
in yourself already?
Yeah.
Okay.
It takes conscious effort.
Okay.
It's not something that's on the tip of my tongue if I'm asked the question.
Sure.
I need time to sit with it and think. 'Cause I think that I am a very curious and inquisitive person.
Right.
And I think that that's maybe what caused me to not go no contact sooner, because there are still so many unanswered questions. But
Okay.
now I think, does it matter? What would I actually gain from having my questions answered? Is it that important?
May I offer another answer to the unanswered
Hmm.
questions? Are they ever going to give the information?
No,
Are they ever going to be honest?
no,
If they gave you an answer, would you trust it?
no. It would probably lead to more questions.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What we're doing there is, obviously there's meaning making. It's so natural to want to know your heritage and background and everything else. But when we're doing that, we're still giving them power over us too.
Hmm.
And I wonder if actually relinquishing the guilt and giving them their power, allowing them to be in charge of themselves, that you have no influence over how they treat you.
Hmm.
Yes, it triggers a huge amount of grief, but also what it does is it means you relinquishing an identity that you're very, very familiar with.
Hmm.
That if you let go of the guilt, who are you underneath that?
Yeah.
Right? And that could be another reason why it's terrifying to not be guilty anymore. Because
Hmm.
guilt was laid upon you over and over and over and over again. That it's like coats of paint on you. There's like loads of them.
Yeah.
And you're kind of having to take one off at a time. And when we strip back all that paint, it's knowing what's under there.
Hmm.
And I wonder if you've got any idea at all.
Nope. No. I feel very out of touch with my feelings. I find it very difficult to sit with emotions. I don't remember the last time I cried. I don't cry. I
Okay.
suppress it. I can feel it come and I will talk myself out of it.
Okay. Do you know, do you remember at one point I asked you whether you felt guarded? Like I was asking if you felt how you felt with us talking.
Hmm.
And the reason I had asked you was because I was feeling like something wasn't connecting or happening, and I should have named it, and I didn't, and I'm sorry that I didn't do that.
Hmm.
But it's this bit, I think. The
Okay.
only emotion you seem to know how to feel is guilt.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then it might feel a bit like you become a robot then if you don't
Yeah.
have guilt.
Hmm. Yeah.
And on
Yeah.
top of that, if you do access those feelings, are you then going to have to be overwhelmed by them? Are you going to have any
Hmm.
control of them if they
That's
come
scary. Yeah.
right?
Feeling like I don't have control. Hmm. Yeah.
So
I'm
guilt gives you the control
yeah. Hmm.
as well
Yeah.
as the power. It
Hmm.
gives you power over them and how they treat you, but it gives you control over yourself
Yeah.
and identity.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm sorry I didn't ask you that at the beginning, because I think it would have really been able to maybe access some more of the emotion with each other,
Hmm.
but also allowed you to speak more freely.
Hmm.
I wonder how much you hold back for fear of feeling emotion about it? What do you think?
Yeah, I do hold back a lot, and I don't always have very in-depth conversations with people that I should be closest to.
There's the should word.
Because it's difficult, because there's guilt over my own feelings, there's doubt over if I can even trust my own feelings, and there's an element of everybody I'm closest to denies my feelings and tells me that I'm wrong. Like, no, that's not right. That's not how it is. That
Right.
you don't get to tell me what my feelings are. They're my feelings to feel.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And
Even
we
like my anxiety, I'm told, like, we were on a recent holiday and I was really anxious about the flight, and I was told, no, you're not. How? How?
Oh, I'm
And I
sorry.
think that's why
Did
I
you
had panic attacks, because I don't know how to process any other feeling. So it just
100%?
becomes really overwhelming
Yeah.
that I lose all control.
The minute someone
Yeah.
tells me that they're living with anxiety and panic attacks, my immediate thought goes to, well, what feelings are they not feeling? What are they
Hmm.
not letting in? Because usually the reason we're feeling anxiety, which actually is fear, is because
Hmm.
it's the only one we will listen to, because it becomes about survival,
Yeah.
right? And so our body makes it louder and louder and louder until we listen to it. And then we cannot ignore it. And so we have to act on it. And even if we're like anxious, but still doing the thing, it becomes the panic attack. And do you know what we all do when we're having a panic attack? Remove ourselves.
Hmm. Yeah.
Whether that's mentally by kind of curling down into a ball and doing, whatever, or literally by going out of the room
Yeah.
physically,
Hmm.
we all remove ourselves because it's a kind of flight response.
Hmm.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to offer you is that getting in touch with the feelings is going to be really, really important. And it's really hard to do that when
Yeah.
you haven't been taught how to do that, and when people are telling you that you don't feel things over and over again, or what your
Hmm.
emotions should be. Doesn't matter what they should be, it's what they are, first of all. I should be happy. I don't care whether you should be happy. What are you?
Hmm.
Are you sad, grief-stricken? You can feel more than one thing at once. In fact,
Hmm.
it's a sign of emotional maturity that you can feel happy and sad, or two or more emotions at the
Yeah.
same time, right? And the way you could do that is getting a feelings wheel and going around every single item and imagining how they might feel. Notice in your body, can I think of how that would feel in my body? Even if I can't imagine like the actual thing, do I notice a sensation in my body when I think about
Hmm.
that word? The other thing with that too, to know, is that when you come around to doing things like happy, joy, excitement, they will be intensely threatening because someone somewhere would have told you not to have them.
Hmm.
As much as all the other ones, someone somewhere will say, and we don't expect it with happiness and joy and excitement because we think they're good emotions. But if you grow up in an environment where every emotion is met with attention seeking, dramatic,
Yeah.
over the
Hmm.
top, like you shouldn't be feeling this and you shouldn't be that and blah, 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 then you are going to be threatened by joy. If you
Hmm.
come home going, I got an A on my paper, and they go, oh, stop bragging. You're not allowed to be proud. You're not allowed to be joyful.
Yeah.
So then when you do have a moment and you're like, actually, I'm an all right human, that makes me terrible. Guilt
Yeah.
straight in, right?
Yeah.
So notice that as you're going through this,
Hmm.
like the feelings wheel. And this is going to be like a daily, 3 or 4 times a day kind of thing. And maybe you pick one emotion and you go, right, today I'm going to notice how many times I feel this particular thing.
Yeah.
Okay? And you
Yeah.
start in feelings wheels, they've got, I call them the primary emotion: happy, sad, angry, and scared. Like primary colours, but in
Yeah.
emotions. And you're going to start with just those. And then you can work out to the wider, expansive like adjectives, and because it's a hard task.
Hmm.
And if it's even too hard to do happy, sad, angry, scared, and disgust is the other one, the other thing you can do is just good or bad. Does it feel good or bad?
Yeah.
How many times did I feel good today? How many times did I feel bad? And
Mm-hmm.
noticing really clearly what's happening in your body in those moments.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that's where our self-trust comes from. Is that if we can't identify the emotion, it's what do I feel physically? Oh, well, when I've felt that before, this is what's been going on. And I know that that's a warning sign for me to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Or I can relax, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is identity. And that's going to be, again, going through values. I don't know if you remember, I used to do these value cards. In fact, I think on the hub, we're going to have them on the app, which is coming fairly soon for the membership platform I run. And we're going to put them on the app so that people can like rank them, rate them, do what they like with them. But you don't have to do that. You can go online, Google different values, and then just look at them. And what's important to me, rank them, 1, 2, 3, important, like vital, not important, unimportant completely. Important but not vital, essentially.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that do I want to be that, or do I think I should be that? And I've talked again before about how with me it was patience, that I should be more patient, but that I'm not very patient, but I should be. But actually on reflection, it was that I was patient in the right places, that I'm impatient in some places and patient in other places. And the places that I can be patient, i.e. with my children, also can be very impatient too. Not going to pretend I'm not. But it's not that I am globally impatient. It's that I was told I was because it served someone else's purpose, right?
Yeah.
And then your very first statement when I asked what you wanted to get from today was a pat on the back that I've made the right decision.
Yeah.
Who
Because
do you
nobody's
think?
telling me what to do anymore.
Right, and who do you
So I
think?
need somebody.
It was very telling, right? That there's this complete lack of trust of self, which you owned and you talked about. We get trust of self from identity. If we have identity, which includes feelings, values, belief systems, if we have identity, we have boundaries. If we have boundaries, we have the ability to know when things are being crossed, and therefore we trust ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Your pat on the back, where do you think that's got to come from?
It's got to come from me. Yeah.
Yeah. What's really important, more than anything else, is no one gets to tell you whether you did or did not do the right thing.
Yeah.
If removing you from that relationship was the best and safest thing for you to do, that is enough. It doesn't have to be big. We didn't actually talk about what the catalyst was, but regardless, it does not have to be a big reason. It has to be enough that you are unhappy and being hurt.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing that lightly anyway. It's the same with marriage and relationships.
Yeah.
I need a good reason to leave the relationship. No, you don't.
Yeah.
It's enough that you're not in love and you're not happy.
Yeah.
And I know people are, if we put this on socials, it's going to be, oh, that's not fair, Helen, there's children and there's this and there's that. No, I'd rather children see me alone and happy than with a partner and miserable. And having this model to them as what love and what to expect from a relationship and marriage. Like, absolutely not.
No. I don't believe in staying together for the children. I think that's
good. What about believing in not staying in a marriage because it's not healthy or happy for you?
What
for
do
yourself?
I think of that? It's quite terrifying because I'm coming to that realization just now.
Yeah.
That it's not good, it's not healthy. It's
yeah.
And kind of like that, waiting for a big thing. Like if he was physically abusive, that's very black and white. But when it's emotional manipulation, it's very subtle and
You've been told
difficult.
your needs are unimportant your entire life.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be you that tells you that you're important and that they are important. There's a big part of me that would like to invite you back and do another kind of part
I feel
two.
like I've not scratched the surface.
Because I do wonder if I want to ask you, have we answered your question? And I'm not sure we've got anywhere close to answering it. Have you got what you needed from today?
I'd say partially, but yeah, definitely there's so much more.
Well,
So
in which
much more.
case, are you open to doing a part two?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
and I would
I'd really
love
like
to
that.
invite you back and do another part if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for now, I think what we'll do is pause there and we will get another episode recorded and dig in a bit deeper and look into, what's going on a bit more, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Sinead, for coming on, and thank you everyone who's listening, and well, keep tuned in for part two, which will be with you soon. As ever, everyone, thank you and take care. Bye.
Bye.